All right, how's it going? This is Firebird with DCS-CVW14. Uh, this video is to go over the purpose of OvGME and how to actually set it up as it relates to DCS World and DCS Open Beta. First of all, let's talk about what it is. OvGME is a program that will install and remove mods very easily, and you can centrally manage the mods almost automatically uh, from a central repository, which is a feature that we use, which is why we like it. That's pretty much what it is. It just installs mods for the game, uninstalls them very easily, pretty straightforward. How to use it is a little more complicated, but not too bad. First, actually, let me show you where to get it. I put it on our website so that you don't have to go hunting for it because it looks like it was pulled down recently. But if you go to dcs.cvw14.com/ovgme/ovgme.zip, hit enter, there's the file. Okay. You open it. You can open it or you can save it. This is actually all the install stuff that you need. It isn't crazy. You can create a folder in your program files or standalone programs or wherever you want to put it. And then just copy those in. It'll run straight off of that. I have them copied into program files. I created an OvGME directory in program files, and I just put it all there. And I created a shortcut on my desktop. It was basically a manual install for a standalone program. It's not complicated. In fact, I'm not sure you actually need to have all of the files installed. If you just put OvGME down, it'll probably run just fine. But there's the zip file that you need. When you open up OvGME, let's actually get rid of these profiles so you can see how it ends up looking. Current, yes. Config, remove current, yes. Okay. Configuration is empty. Yeah, I know. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go here, we're going to relaunch. So when you first open up OvGME, you have a configuration title, a configuration root folder, and a configuration mods folder. And then if you want to have a configuration backup folder, you can set that up, a custom one, you can set it up there. If not, it's going to create a backup folder in your configuration roots, and it's going to drop backups in there. All right, so the configuration title, you're going to have two spots that you're actually going to install mods to. Okay, you're going to have your root DCS game, and then your profile for the game under your user's saved games location. So you're going to title these appropriately. So for instance, DCS Open Beta, because that's the one we're making, and then this will be the core game, which is the actual one that falls under the program files. And I'm causing myself problems by doing that. Okay, so, and then from there, we're going to go ahead and select the root. The root is where you're going to actually install the mods that you have. Actually, there's something I want to do before I do this that's been bothering me. So we're going to change this to actually say core games. So this is something that you can do beforehand or as you're making this, but you basically want to create a storage location that you're going to download your modifications to. You're going to want to create two folders, one for each profile. And this is just going to be a storage location that's local on your computer that you're going to actually download them to before and install, because when you install them, it pushes the files in and backs up the old files. And then when you remove them, it restores the backup and pulls the files out. So it's a dynamic way to enable and disable mods really easy. So you don't have to go in and do all the stuff manual with copying files in, copying files out. Oh, you want to restore the root game. You got to do a repair on the game to do that. It's just, it gets complicated. So for instance, this is just the configuration title. This is what's going to show up on the top menu bar when you're selecting your configuration. The root program for this is going to be in your system drive, program files, Eagle Dynamics, and then your whichever DCS world install that you're trying to actually modify. You can create a separate profile for each of them, DCS World and DCS World Open Beta. And when you just want to have it on the root. You don't need to go into the actual game. You could just set it on the root, and you're good to go there. Click OK. And then your mods folder is that location where you just created that you want to store them. I have a slow spinny drive that I use for my general storage. So there's that. If we want to have backups and stuff, like custom backups and stuff like that, we can do that. I just leave that unchecked, and it creates backup folders in the locations that they install, and it's fine. So once you have those 3 lines configured, you can hit go. And it's going to actually try to read that directory you currently have. That directory you currently have is actually present, or it actually already has mods in there. Yours won't. It'll look empty. And I'll show you how to actually get mods for there. But currently, I do already have the mods in there. I should have actually disabled my mods. I'm going to have to install over my old ones. So it'll be a little complicated for a little while. Anyway, here we're going to go ahead and create a new one for the saved games location. So this is the core game profile, and this is the core game source folder. Now we're going to create a save game profile. So we're going to do the same kind of naming standard, DCS-Open Beta -save games for the save games profile. And then this one, the install location is going to be under your system drive user, wherever you keep your home directory. I have mine under system drive users, username, and then saved games, and then the actual game, DCS Open Beta, right? So once that's there, I click OK. Then I browse to the mods folder, which is under my D drive, save games directory. That's just the location I created. And I'm not going to create a custom folder, so we can go ahead and create. And then there are all the mods that are already there. And I'll show you how to get all these. So to populate the mods, if you want to download them or if you want to install them, if you get a mod from online and you just want to install it and you already have it without the use of a repository, all you would do is you would browse to that source folder that you saved them in. So in this case, D drive for a save games mod, you would go to the D drive save games mod, and then those are all mods, right? So these particular ones are skin packs for plain paint jobs for different squadrons that are in VNAO. And then we have some static objects things. So we have a Navy equipment mod. These are actually public mods. The 476 range targets, airfield equipment, Navy equipment. There's the A4 mod is there. That's the community mod. We have some missions that use that. And then we have other things like some test aircraft that they're developing, and like I happen to Twitch sometimes, so I have a Twitch chat mod that'll put the Twitch in my VR, Twitch chat in my VR. It's not overly complicated. So if I wanted to just install a mod, I could just copy and drop the folder here, and then I would go over to OvGME and I would click, and then it enables the mod, right? So I can go through These are the old, this is the old skin that we used to do before before we moved over to the repository. So I don't actually use those anymore. Um, so and then that's how you enable a mod, right? You just double click them. As soon as the green check mark is in, it's ready to be used in the game. And all they do is they read the mods. Now, one thing that we do is we regulate the distribution of our skins, or we centralize the distribution of our skins for update purposes and stuff like that. And we do so with repositories, and repositories are configured in OvGME. So, for instance, the save game repository that we're looking at here is we can go over to let's do the core games first, because that if we actually download anything, that'll be a faster download. But we go mods. When you're on the profile that you want to add, you go mods, repositories, configure. And then here, we're going to put in the URL http://dcs.cvw14.com/ovgme/ and the core game is VNAO-core for the repository. Really complicated. Add that in, and then you just make sure it's down here, and then you click close, and then you go back to repositories, query. Now, I already have these mods here, but if I didn't, I would have the option to download them. And I could double click them and they would download and install, or they wouldn't install, but they would download to my download location. So, and here we have the lantern mod that makes the lantern usable from the pilot seat in F-14. We have an NVG mod, which changes some peripheral vision on the bottom of the NVG. So in VR, you can see below your NVGs to read your instruments. And then a deck repaint with an iFloss brightening mod. Which has to go into the core game, the root game. So that's all that goes there. I have some other ones that are not VNAO, which are just like, I have my own playlist on my Walkman for the F-14. That's about it. So, and then we go over to save games, and we're going to configure the same thing over here, but with a different target for the repository. So you're going to go mods, repositories, configure, and then we're going to put in that same URL minus the core. So it's http://dcs-cvw14.com. Sorry, that was dcs.cvw14.com/ovgme/VNAO. No core. This is just save games, and I just took the root. I didn't want to make it too complicated. You're going to add that. It's actually going to pull the repository for the old one. You want to highlight the old repository and remove it. You only want the VNAO present. Okay? Then you hit close. Now you can query that mod. And all of the stuff that is in that repository will show up, and you can download it all. It is choke pointed, so this will download, and it'll take about 3 megabits of bandwidth, so you can easily let this download and go do something and come back, because it's probably an 8 gig download, but it's not going to download too fast, so it's not going to cause network lag for you. And it's going to take a while, though. It's going to take you a couple hours to download everything in here if you're downloading it for the first time. But that's all the mods that are used in our missions and our paint jobs for our squadrons. It's not crazy. All right. So that said, and then when you get them, they'll come in and they'll be gray like this, and you'll just double click them to actually install them into the game. It's pretty straightforward. And if you have any questions, you can hit me up on Discord. I am Firebird. Between me, Coke, and Particle Man, I think we can get you figured out. So if you have any troubles, you can hit us up, and we'll try to get you sorted. Thank you very much for your time and have a great day.